And it's hoped that today's game can help those who want to climb out.
They no longer enemies to me.
Alright, if you saw a $20 bill just lying on the ground, you might.
그래서 이게 응? 셀이 아니야. 응? 뭐가 돼야 돼? saw. 그지? 그 다음에 writing이 아니라 뭐가 돼야 돼? line. 그지? 지금 맞았어. 브라운드는 맞았고. 자, 한 번 더 들어볼까?
I just pick it up and keep it.
They no longer enemies to me.
Alright, if you saw a $20 bill just lying on the ground. Alright, if you saw a $20 bill just lying on the ground.
Okay.
Alright, if you saw a $20 bill just lying on the ground.
Say, if you saw, saw, 이건 저기 sell, 얘는 뭐야? 얘는 sell. 이거는
saw,
그럼 이거 봐봐.
You might just pick it up and keep it. Alright, if you saw a $20 bill just lying on the ground, you might. If you saw a $20 bill just lying on the ground, you might just. Alright, if you saw a $20 bill just lying on the ground.
Say, if you saw a $20 bill lying on the ground. If you saw $20 bill lying on the ground. 해야 돼. 그죠? Pick it up. 잘했어. Keep it. Okay? What if you saw? 그 이상하다? 이거는 saw 반대로 이거는 세서 그랬어? 이거는 맞는데. Dropped. Okay? Someone dropped. 이게 뭐냐면, 자, saw, 그 다음에 someone dropped. 이거지? 이거 갖다 이렇게 쓰면 안 된단 말이지. 그죠? 왜? 이거는 뭐야? dropped는, 그죠? 이거는 그런 얘기야. 누군가가 직접 떠지잖아. 직접 이런 동작을 하면은 그냥 drop이야. drop. 오케이? drop. underground. 오케이? 응? 여기는 someone, if you saw someone, 이게 맞는데? 이거 맞고, 그 다음에 pocket. 이거 맞아. pocket. 원래 말이 pocket이 주머니지. 근데 saw someone pocket 하면은 몰래 슬쩍 자기 주머니에 넣다는 얘기. 넣는 것을 보았다. 그지? 어? pocket. That happened to. 근데 이건 happen 좋은데 그때 일이 붙어야지. 왜 이게 내 말은 왜 이게 아니고 왜 이게 ED가 붙어야 돼? 과거니까. 이미 발생했잖아. 맞아. 그죠? 맞아요? 그 다음에
You might just pick it up and keep it. What if you saw someone drop a 20 and then you saw someone else pocket it? That happened to Joey Pruzak. Elizabeth Littlefield tells us that happened to Joey Pruzak. You might just pick it up and keep it. What if you saw someone drop a 20 and then you saw someone else pocket it? That happened. What if you saw someone drop a 20 and then you saw someone else pocket it? That happened to Joey Pruzak. WCCO's Susan Elizabeth Littlefield tells us what happened next.
What happened next?
I bet you I.
WCCO's Susan Elizabeth Littlefield tells us what happened next.
What happened next?
I bet you I had.
이것도 봐봐. 이것도 what happened 이거죠? 이것도 원래 아시죠? 응? 이게 나와. 이거죠? 이것도 이게 나와. 왜? 이미 뭘 했었으니까. 그죠?
20-some phone calls and like Yahoo News called. Had 20-some phone calls and like Yahoo News.
그죠? 옛날에는 아주 간단한 것도
아예 안 들었어.
그치? 이제 되지? 그 다음에
called.
What happened last week has people talking and wanting. This happened last week has people talking and wanting to speak to him. A sick summer happened last week has people talking and wanting.
왜냐하면 talking and wanting이지. Sorry. 이게 뭐냐면 이거야. 응? Has people talking and wanting. 이지. 해지가 뭐냐면 이거야. 시키다. 그러니까 뭐뭐 하게 하다지. 응? 그러면 뭐야? He's crying has mean. Okay? Giving. 뭐 되면 buying and giving him. 그지? A cake. 어? 그 꼬마애가 막 울어. 케이크 달라고. 그러면 너가 어쩔 수 없이 주잖아. 그럴 때 얘가 우니까 나로 하여금 사게 했고 주게 했어. 케이크를. 그런 게 있잖아. 같이 가는데 애가 울어. 저기 오빠 나 저 케이크 좀 사줘. 이러면 너가 어떻게 돼? 그냥 지나쳐 아니면 사줘야 돼. 지나치면 안 되지.
이거는
아니 너가 아는 애야. 귀여운 애야. 사주지? 그럴 때는 내가 그 당시에 사주고 하니까 저거지. ing. 응? 해지가 뭐야? 뭐뭐 하게 하듯이. 그래서 buying and giving. 응? 해지가 뭐야? 나로 하여금 뭐뭐 하게 하다지. 응? 오케이? 이것도 뭐니? What happened next week? 그래? Last week. 지난주 발생한 게 뭐니? 사람들 하여금 뭐야? Talking. 말하게 하고 wanting to speak to him. 무슨 말이지? 말하게 하고 그에게 말을 하고 쉽게 하고. 맞아? 그에게 뭐라고? 말을 하고 쉽게 하고. 맞아. 그죠?
To speak to him. A sick summer veteran worker, he was doing his thing when a visually impaired customer walked in the door. To speak to him. A sick summer veteran worker, he was doing his thing when a visually impaired customer walked. He was doing his thing when a visually impaired customer walked in. The veteran worker, he was doing his thing when a visually impaired customer.
어렵지? Visually. 한번 써볼까? Visually. V-I-S-U-A-L-L-Y visually impaired I-M-P-A-I-R-E-D 이게 뭐냐면 뭐니 이게 visually가
visually,
시각적으로 그죠? impaired 좀 그죠? 손상된 그런 뭘 의미하죠? 장면이죠. 그죠? 그 사람이 one more time. Visually impaired.
Walked in the door.
Meant to put
Veteran worker, he was doing his thing when a visually impaired customer walked in the door. He was doing his thing when a visually impaired customer walked in the door. His thing when a visually impaired customer walked. Veteran worker, he was doing his thing when a visually impaired customer.
Visually impaired worker. Visually impaired customer. Visually impaired customer. 시작. Visually impaired customer. 시작. Visually impaired customer. Visually impaired customer. 시작. Visually impaired customer. 오케이? 그죠? Walked in. 좋았고. put. 이건 할 거 없지. 이거. 이 뭐죠? Please. Front pocket. Front pocket. 그지? 이렇게. Stepped in.
Walked in the door.
When he went to put everything back in his pocket, because he put it in his front pocket, that's when he happened to drop the $20 bill on the ground.
Another customer stepped in for all the wrong reasons.
The lady behind him
stepped in for all the wrong reasons.
Lady behind him picked it up.
Stepped in. stepped in. 써봐. stepped in. 바로 들어왔다니까 바로. stepped in. stepped in. 그렇지. stepped in. 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 바로 들어왔다. 그럼 바로 나갔단 말이야. step down. step down. step down. step down. step down. Where's your mom? 엄마 방금 나오시는데? My mom just stepped down. 그죠? My mom just stepped down. Where's your mom?
My mom just stepped out.
Just step down. Step down. Step down. 이게 뭐래? 방금 나왔다. 그죠? 그 다음에 figured. I figured. I figured. 내가 알았다. I figured. I figured. I figured. I figured. figure. 봐봐. 원래 뭐니 figure가. 이건 이게 아니야. 원래 이건데 여기 과거란 말이야. 원래 figure는 뭐니? 형체, 모양인데 이게 동사만 보잖아. 그죠? 뭐라고 판단하다. I figure. 이게 뭐 뜻이 뭐라고? 판단하다. 과거지. 뭐라고? 판단하다. 자, 써봐. 판단하다. 나는 판단했다. figured. 해봐. figured. I figured. I figured. I figured. 판단했다. I figured. I figured. 그 다음에 요거 behind. 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 자, behind. behind. 뒤에. behind. 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 오케이? 그 다음에 purse. 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 purse.
So quickly that I figured out.
Figure out.
So quickly that I figured out.
Figure out.
She's just gonna hand it right back to him. When she went and put it in her purse, she goes, "It's my
purse.
money." And I go, "All right, I'm gonna ask you to leave the store politely right now." And then she made a big scene, started sweating.
이게 지촉기지. 응? 직권 줄 알고 그냥 직권 걷어가지고 그냥 장님이 떨어뜨려갔다가 참 나쁜 사람이지. It's a bad man, yeah? So made a scene. So made a scene. 다시 해. Made a scene. Made a scene. Made a scene. She 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 made a scene. 이게 소란 피우다. 소란 피우다. 이거야. 왜냐면 그 현장을 씬이 그거지. 어떤 현장 만든다는 얘기는 지가 막 소란 피워서 뭐니 사람들이 주목하니까 그 지가 만드는 거지. 소란 피우다야. She made a scene. She made a scene.
She made a big scene, started swearing. And then she made a big scene, started swearing.
그 뭐야? made a big scene이니까 big. 소란을 갖다가 그 크게 피우다. 맞아? 크게 피우다. 그 다음에 stop yelling, stop swearing, swearing 욕하다. 그 다음에 stormed out. stormed out. 다시 stormed out. stormed out. stormed out.
And then she stormed out. After
serving the people in line, he approached the blind man who had been
자, 그 다음에 쭉 해봐. 틀린 거.
listening to what had happened to his money.
I told him,
그래. approach it. Approach it. Approach it. 그래. 그래. Approach it. Approach it. Approach it.
Approach. Approach.
다시 한번 써봐요. Approach. Approach. Approach.
drop $20. I would like to give you $20 on behalf of myself and Dairy Queen to try and make things right.
But it didn't come from his cash register. It came from his pocket.
It's about 2 hours pay.
Someone who was watching from afar wrote to corporate, while dozens called. Some came.
WCCO radio, and that's how I heard about it, and it just touched my heart. And I said I have to come meet. And I said I have to come meet. I have to just bring it.
가슴이 찡해. 그죠? 그죠? Okay. So now tell me about the whole story. Tell me what happened to this. Why do you think this guy is a good man? This person.
Saw someone else.
Some phone
Yeah,
call.
he's a good guy. Why? Do you think that he picked up the money and pocketed it? He? No. Who picked it up? A woman. Okay, stepped in. What she did? She picked it up and just handed it back to him. Handed it back to him? No. She pocketed it. Then what she said? She said, "It's my money. It's my money." Okay. But who was the guy? Who was the man? Do you think that he could see? He could see her? No. He is what? She is visually impaired. Say, he is visually impaired. Say, visually impaired. Visually impaired. He is visually impaired. He is visually impaired. Visually impaired. Okay, good job. Thank you.